As the CBI and the Delhi police probe the tragic suicides of bureaucrat BK Bansal and his entire family, NDTV has now learnt of crucial details pertaining to the case. It turns out that 2 days before his suicide, Yogesh Bansal, the son of the Director General of Corporate Affairs BK Bansal, had declared black money worth 2.39 crore under the disclosure scheme of the centre. The Bansals apparently owed taxes to the tune of 1.07 crore. The CBI has now also revealed why they raided the Bansals a second time when they were accused of harassing Bansal's wife and daughter. His wife Satya Bala and son Yogesh had moved their assets from 19 of their 30 bank lockers. NDTV has accessed some of that footage that you now see on your screen. My colleague Sunitra Chaudhary is tracking that story and now joins us with the very latest. Sunitra, what more do we know about the CBI's claims and whatever they've managed to unearth so far as part of their investigations? And while these investigations will, of course, continue as far as allegations of corruption against the Bansals are concerned, Sunitra, uncomfortable questions will continue to be asked of those CBI officers who were involved in this particular investigation, given that damning suicide note.
That's right, the suicide note's very, very damning, and we have the other two suicide notes as well of the family members of the daughter and the wife, Saroj Bala. But if that footage, I just want to give a note about the footage that our viewers are seeing right now on screen. That footage is from Punjab National Bank in Mandavli. Now, it actually explains, what does it show? It shows what CBI claims is Mrs. Bansal and her son Yogesh Bansal. The footage is from 18th of July. Remember, he was arrested, Mr. Bansal was arrested on the 16th of July, which was a Saturday. What CBI claims is that the first time that the banks opened was Monday morning, and between 9 and 11:30 a.m., mother and son, Mrs. Bansal and her son Yogesh, visited various banks where they had their bank lockers, 30 bank lockers, and they managed to clear out 19 bank lockers. Now, this footage only shows the CBI's claim that they are carrying a bag and they took something out of that. Now, what CBI says is what they did, they are in no way saying that, look, the probe is happening. You have Mr. R.P. Agarwal, who is the joint director in the case. He's probing the case. But they're trying to explain their version as well. And this footage shows mother and son visiting Punjab National Bank. They also visited various other banks like the Allahabad Bank, the Andhra Bank, all of them in the Patparganj and the Mandavli area between 9 and 11:30. This is given as an explanation to why CBI carried out the second raid, in which those alleged tortures and harassment happened. Those are still being probed. And we know that there are about 5 officers who are being probed for that. That's the first thing. The second thing that you mentioned, which NDTV has learned, is of course the new revelation that just a day before, many people thought, why is it that Mr. Bansal, the accused in the case, and by that time, by September, his wife and his daughter had tragically committed suicide. This shows that just 2 days before his and his son's suicide, on the 25th, because it has the receipt of the government, on the 25th of September, just 2 days before his suicide, Yogesh Bansal declared black money of 2.39 crores, to which he had to pay a tax of 1.07 crores. And that amount is given over here, in these forms given over here, 2.39 crores of black money, taxable income 1.07 crores. Now, while nobody wants to jump to any conclusions, what the CBI is pointing out that maybe was the fact that 1.07 crores had to be paid now as tax, was that something which was weighing on his mind? That's not the only thing. If you also look at their bail applications, what the CBI is perhaps trying to look at is, in their bail applications, Mr. Bansal points out that after his wife and his daughter's death, his son was clinically depressed and had suicidal tendencies. This is given in the medical certificate that is provided at the hospital, and this is the hospital report that they've given, where they point out that he had suicidal tendencies, and they also said that Mr. Bansal perhaps also gave a medical certificate which said that he was suffering from post-traumatic stress. These are 2-3 facts which have emerged. We're not sure whether they are related to the suicides or not, but perhaps it brings a little more clarity at what exactly happened. before those days, before the suicide of Mr. Bansal and his son on the 27th of September, and before that in July of Mrs. Bansal and her daughter Neha Bansal.